Hi everybody, it's Chris and I'm back to do another project with you today. So you may have remembered a few months ago where we built a vanity for the bathroom in the studio, and I had poured the top and the shelf for it, and then Jim built a stand for it out of galvanized pipes. So today we're going to pour some shelves so that we can put a shelving unit on the wall made from galvanized pipes as well. So the colors I'm using today are the Prussian blue, and then I also have my Artist Flow white, and then my custom silver. And these have been thinned down quite a bit. So what we're doing today is kind of like a puddle pour. And this is one of the first things I learned how to do from Melly D actually. And I really love this technique because it can really create some super cool cells. And it's just because of the paint reacting with each other and kind of the way you pour it too. So the paint has been thinned down quite a bit. The pieces we're working on today, these are actually stair treads that we purchased. They're pine stair treads. Jim cut them down to the size that we needed, and then I did use the Kills 1, 2, 3 from Bullseye to prime these guys to get them ready to be painted. So I'm going to set my paints over here to the side, and just like the vanity, I kind of want my white to be more predominant. So I have a lot more white mixed up. So I'm just going to start by making puddles on the surface of the shelf here, and just kind of doing random dots, if you will. And I will do the other colors as well, but I'm just kind of starting out with the white since I want that to be more predominant. And then I'm going to come in with some of the Prussian blue. Now my goal is to go over the front of the shelf with the pattern and hopefully a little bit underneath, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work actually. But definitely the goal is to at least get over the front of the shelf. And then the bottom of the shelf, what I plan to do is to take the Prussian blue. I'm gonna pour this one a little bit higher, and hopefully you guys have a good angle so that you can kind of see what that does, because that also helps to create some cells in the paint and some super cool effects. But what I want to do is to take the Prussian blue and take that to Home Depot and have that matched. And then the bottom of the shelves will get painted in just the solid Prussian blue. All right, and I come in with some of the silver. Now I have 3 shelves that I'm going to paint. I am just showing you guys one of the shelves, so I'm not going to bore you with making you watch all 3 of them. Again, pouring some silver dots around as well, because I gotta have some bling going, of course. And you'll find when you do this technique, the higher up you go, the more cells it kind of creates within the puddles. And then also in the way that you tip it also helps to kind of create some stuff too. So I'll show you that as well. So just kind of going back and adding colors randomly to my little dots here. And they don't all have to have metallic in them. And then I'm just going to come back and put some more white down. And my goal is to try to get like probably 4 to 5 layers in each little puddle here. And I want to make sure that I have enough paint to move around on the surface of the project. So the paint is pretty thin, so it is going to flow pretty well for us too. But you want to make sure that you have enough paint to cover, because if you don't, then it kind of gets stretched too thin, and then it's not really a pretty effect at all. So I'm going to continue to add dots, and then I'll pop you back on when I'm ready to start tilting. Okay, so I have all of my blobs of paint down, and now I just want to add in a little bit of paint here where I kind of have some empty spaces. As I said, I want to make sure that I have enough paint to move across the surface, and I also want to make sure that I have enough to flow over the front of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in some extra paint just to assure that. Maybe just a little bit more white here. I think I'll add just a tiny bit more up here too. All right, I'm gonna set my paint over here to the side. So the other thing that you can do with this is to run your finger through some of the little blobs of paint, and that also helps to kind of create some cells and kind of get some cool stuff going in the paint. I'm not going to do that through all of them, just through a few of them. And maybe through this one to kind of get that going over the front. And then the next thing that I want to do, I think what I'll do is tip it back first, just to kind of get some cool movement going and move it side to side before I go over the front, so that I make sure that I have a really nice pattern going on the front of it. So with this technique, you kind of want to tilt it kind of quickly, but you also want to kind of do like some severe tilting, because that's what really gets things moving and creates the fun pattern on it. And I apologize, but I had to make sure that I went over the sides there. And now I'm just gonna go over the front. And I can see in the camera that that looks pretty good. I do want to come over here and see if I can go over this other corner. And then I also want to look at the sides to make sure that I've come over the sides pretty well. And those are looking pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and tilt a little bit more over this way. And then I'm going to bring it back this way, just to make sure that I have everything covered. And I apologize, I know you can't see very well, but if you give me just 1 second here, I'll show you what this looks like. There we go. Okay, so now the other thing is that this will actually change some more as it sits. And I'm just gonna go ahead, and I see that my pattern is kind of looking like it's all over to the one side. So I'm just gonna tip it back down a little bit. Very cool. Okay. So this is how it looks right now. However, it will change, and some more of the white will actually pop up through in areas that we can't see right now. So I'm gonna set this one over to the side, and then at the end of the video, I will put a picture of all 3 of them kind of close up so you can see what they look like. But I don't wanna point out because I don't wanna drip paint here. Let me wipe my hands off really quick here. You can already see some of the blue that's kind of popping up through here. So we're already getting some cells that are kind of popping up through the paint. So this is definitely going to change as it sits. So at the end of the video, I'll put a picture of all 3 of them. And then I will also put some close-ups so you can see the cool cell action that comes from this particular technique. Okay guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will post a picture of the finished product probably on my Facebook page once we get it finished. Obviously these have to sit for a few weeks before I'm able to varnish them, and then Jim will be able to put them together. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.